Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox the MEMTEQ Universal 5-in-1 phone camera lens kit, take a close-up look and test it out. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So there are 5 lenses included in the box. There's a fisheye, wide angle, macro, teleconverter and a polarizer. So how this lens kit works is it attaches the lenses using a clip onto the smartphone. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the box. And let's go ahead and remove what I think is the lens pouch or carry pouch. Yes, it's a carry pouch for storing the lenses in. Nice and soft, so let's put that aside. And let's check out the lenses. So there are lens caps on the lenses to protect them from any damage. And let's check out the clip with the lens already attached to it. So it's a fisheye lens which is attached currently to the clip, and this clip has a nice and firm, very firm feel to the spring. Okay, so now let's test it out. So I've got my trusty Sony Xperia Z3 compact Android smartphone here, and it's got a Bling's silicone TPU gel case on it. And we're going to check out how we go about attaching the lens onto the smartphone. So we simply position it over the lens of the actual smartphone itself, and that should do the trick. So there we go. So right now it's the fisheye lens. So a fisheye lens will give you this kind of spherical, crazy effect where everything around you will be pretty much captured into the shot. So you can see there is a very wide or big capture of the surrounding environment. And I will slide the fisheye lens off so you can see the difference before and after. So this is before with the camera on its own, or the smartphone camera, and this is with the fisheye lens attached. And without. So you can see huge difference, and it's quite a wild lens. Okay, so now let's try a different lens. So removing the lens is a simple case of just unscrewing it, and it's off just like that. And let's put that aside, and let's check out the other lenses. So what we have here is a macro lens. So let's go ahead and attach it, and then remove the cap, lens cap. And there's actually a wide angle lens attached to the macro lens, because how this works is the wide angle lens is actually a combination lens that has to be combined with the macro lens to work. So this is what we have right now. It's in wide angle mode right now. Okay, so this is actually the wide angle lens. So let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, so once again, so this is the before, and let me try and slide it over. So a wide angle lens will give you a wide angle shot more than just with your phone camera on its own, but not as crazy or wild as the fisheye lens. So let me show you it like that so you can see. So that's wide angle and without and with. Obviously, I could do with a bit better adjustment, but the video camera is in the way, so for time saving purposes I'm just gonna do my best doing it this way. So there we go, put it on and without. Okay, so now let's try another lens. What do we have next? Oh, actually, since the macro lens is already attached there, let's go ahead and separate the wide angle from the macro lens simply by unscrewing it like that. There we go, and put it on the soft pouch there. And let's go ahead and screw the macro lens on. So it's quite thin, so you don't want to screw it in too tightly, because if not, because if you do, you might have trouble removing it. Okay, so let's check it out. So right now we've got the macro lens. Actually, let me just show it to you this way as well. Okay, so macro lens, here we go. So right now we've got the phone on its own, and then with the macro lens. So macro lenses are for really up close shots, really close up shots of objects, so you can get right into them. And macro lenses are, you can see how nice and detailed that is, being so close. So people normally use macro lenses for insects or bug photographies or jewel, or taking pictures of, yeah, jewelry and even food as well. So let's remove the macro lens. So right now you can see that the camera is struggling to focus at such a close distance, so I need to pull out. But pulling out like that, we gain focus, but we lose the closeness to the object. So the object is a lot smaller. You can see the lens cap there, and let's bring it in close, and you can see we can get that close, but it's kind of blurry. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camcorder, but it is slightly blurry. So if I put the macro lens back on to the smartphone camera, we can then get really close. Look at that, right up to, I'm actually sort of pushing the, and the detail is just razor sharp. Okay, so that's a macro lens for taking close-up shots of insects, bugs, jewelry, and food, or whatever else you can think of. Okay, so now let's try another lens. So let's unscrew the macro lens and try and remember to put the caps back onto the lenses to protect them from any scratches or dust and dirt as well. Okay, so let's try the next lens. And this is the Teleconverter or telephoto lens. So let's go ahead and screw it on, and then remove the lens cap. Okay, So this is the telephoto or teleconverter lens. So this will give you a close shot from far objects. So let's go ahead and get the phone camera back on and then put the teleconverter lens on so you can see. There we go. But obviously you can see the magnification, or in terms of the object or the lens cap in the shot. But obviously this is meant for far or distant objects. So let's go ahead and let's try and angle it up, angle my camcorder up, and we have over there my little horse figure. Well, it's not really little, but let me show you the difference. Okay, so you can see with and without. So the benefit of a lens like this is, since it's a physical lens rather than using your camera's digital zoom, you won't be losing quality, image quality. So that's the big plus there. Okay, so you can see the difference. Alright, so let's check out the other lenses. And we have our final lens, which should be the polarizer or polarizing lens. Okay, that was a lens cap right there. And let's go ahead and screw on the polarizer and then pop the cap off. Okay, so what the polarizer does is it cuts out glare from, if you're taking outdoor shots or shots where there's just lots of just bright lights, but mainly for outdoors. But we can't really test this here because we're indoors, but we'll see if that makes any difference at all. We'll just give it a try anyway, just to give you an idea. So what we have here is the polarizer that's on right now, and then I'm gonna remove it now, and obviously there doesn't seem to be any difference because we're indoors and it's artificial lighting. But if you're outdoors, it will probably help to reduce glare from strong sunlight. Okay, let me just point it up to just double check it, just to make sure. Whoops. Let me get the camera back on. Okay, so I've removed the lens. And let's put the polarizer back on. And without. So that's the MEMTEQ Universal 5-in-1 phone camera lens kit. Thanks for watching and happy snapping!